This is the all-new Community Connection. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. Well, Gateway to Hope is a breast cancer lifeline. Their mission is to secure health care and financial assistance for individuals in need, diagnosed, or at high risk for developing breast cancer. I'm joined today by Executive Director Dawn Van Houton. Dawn, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me today.
It is my pleasure. You all came at a very crucial time for us, where awareness is increasing, and we're hoping that screening is also increasing, but the numbers are still kind of high for us. Can you talk a little bit about your response as Gateway to Hope?
Yes, breast cancer really touches almost everyone in some way or another, whether it's a friend, a family member. The American Cancer Society says that there'll be 243,000 cases of breast cancer diagnosed in the United States this year.
Whoa.
And the number is astronomical. It's becoming almost an epidemic. It's just so common. So what we do at Gateway to Hope is we help women who have been diagnosed and that are struggling financially. Mm-hmm. Because, we understand when you're fighting a disease such as breast cancer, sometimes it's difficult to go to work.
Right.
It's difficult to, just really just keep your head above water. And so, we help them in several different ways.
Exactly. Well, talk about some of the ways that you all respond.
So really 3 ways. So our first one, we call it our IPP program, which is our insurance premium program. Mm-hmm. And what that is we pay for their insurance premiums. So what happened was when our organization was founded 10 years ago by 2 surgeons, Dr. David Kaplan and Dr. Marla Shu, they were coming across patients who had come to them that had already advanced stages of breast cancer. And they asked them, why did you not come to us sooner? And they would say, well, we couldn't afford it, right, or our insurance didn't cover it. And so as an organization, those 2 surgeons decided we want to do something about that. And so they started a program where they provided a network of healthcare providers provided their care at no cost.
Yeah.
So they could help treat those women. Well, now, with the Affordable Care Act and the ability to get insurance, more women have the opportunity to get insurance. And so we can help them pay for those premiums. So they get comprehensive care for breast cancer.
Oh, how wonderful.
And then another way that we help them is we help them with their everyday living expenses. So utilities, rent, transportation to and from, their appointments. Because, again, they're physically and emotionally trying to fight this disease. And so we do everything we can, to help them get to and from and just make their lives a little bit easier as they do that.
That's exceptional. Share with us a success story of how you were able to step in and make a difference for one of your clients.
As the executive director, I really try to make a point and meet as many of our patients as I can. And I just recently spoke to a young woman who she could not work because her breast cancer treatment was just making her so ill. And she had a position, actually a local woman, a position with a local airline, and she worked in their baggage claim. And she said, my benefits did not cover this, based on the kind of work that I do. And I have, 2 children that live at home with me. I'm single, and I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. And she came into our office, and she sat down with one of our nurse case managers who walked her through, the program that we could use to help her and got her signed up. And so, on a monthly basis, we help her with an insurance premium so she can go to treatment, and then with those everyday living expenses. And then on top of that, she gets the emotional support of our program nurse managers that understand what it's like and what it takes to fight and beat this disease.
Glad to hear that. Why do you think it is that we are still looking at increased numbers today? And what do you hope that Gateway to Hope can provide for that to be different going forward?
Well, I think one reason research is telling us that the numbers are increasing just because our population, is increasing. Mm-hmm. So, one of the risk factors for breast cancer is age. And as the baby boomers, mature, there are more women with the opportunity to have breast cancer out there. So that's one reason. And and the other one too is I think it's healthcare factors. There's a lot of things that we're not sure exactly what causes breast cancer or can identify it, but just as time goes on, those factors are in place, and it just can happen in that way.
Mm-hmm. And what do you hope that the difference that Gateway to Hope can make?
The difference that we hope to make is to help those breast cancer sufferers that are really been troubled financially, help them get their treatment so they can fight and beat the disease. And we're a St. Louis-based organization. In our 10-year lifespan, we've helped almost 1,000 women. And in this year alone, we're expecting to help over 300 women as they fight breast cancer. So, there's only so much of us and so many of us that we can help. But we certainly, we believe in our model, and hopefully at some point maybe we can replicate our model in other markets.
Yeah. For sure. And at the end of the day, there's a woman, a family, a legacy, a community on the other side connected with every person that you're able to help.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. How can we help you? What do you need from the community so you can do more of what you're doing or do it better?
So we are a nonprofit, and one that we are supported by private donations, corporate partners, foundations, and grants, and our events. And so, a couple things. First of all, we want the public to be aware of us, to know that we're out there, and if they know someone who's been diagnosed with breast cancer, to call us. Our phone number is 314-569-1113. And even for individuals that don't qualify for our program, our nurse case managers and our social workers can direct them to other organizations in St. Louis that might be able to help them.
Excellent.
So that's one way. The support mechanisms is another way as a nonprofit. And then third would be, just to help share the word about us and maybe possibly attend some of our events.
Right. Absolutely. So, Don, how did you come to this work?
It's really interesting how life takes you from one thing to another. I had spent over 10 years in bank marketing. And as a bank marketing manager, one of the things that individual often does is manage the charitable donation budget and the marketing budget. And a lot of work that I did was with nonprofits in the community. And I really enjoyed that line of work. And, I came to a point in my career where it was time to make a change. And Gateway to Hope, I had been on the board for 5 years already, and the position of executive director just happened to be open.
Wow. And
so we looked at it, as a team, and it seemed like to be a really good fit. And it's been amazing. I mean, the fact that, we get to help people recover.
Yeah, for sure. That's a powerful thing. Do you have any events or things coming up?
It's funny. We just had a charity polo match on Saturday, and it was at the McGee Polo Fields, and we had 300 people out there. We had polo players on just beautiful horses racing up and down the field. It was a beautiful day. So the next thing we have coming up is on October the 1st.
Okay.
We have our Kaleido Gala. And this will be our 7th annual gala, and it'll be at the Chase Park Plaza Hotel. Beautiful evening. There will be patients on site, along with our supporters, so we'll be able to, share the Gateway to Hope story and just have a really nice evening together. And I would, encourage anyone to go to our website, gthstl.org, and really can kind of get an update on all the fun things we have going on right now.
Absolutely. Well, that sounds great. Thank you for being with us today. Don Van Houton is the executive director of Gateway to Hope, and we're so fortunate to have organizations like yours here to make a difference locally for the women in our community.
Thank you so much, Jade, and we're fortunate to have you help us share our story.
Oh, it's my great pleasure. Don, we'll talk with you soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcast at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.